Welcome to FX Options University, recorded live at the International Securities Exchange, the world's largest equity options exchange. Join the industry's top trading professionals as they provide insight and strategies for trading in the currency markets using FX options. FX options are a low-risk alternative to hedging currency moves in any market condition.
That's neat, John. I hope everybody's bookmarking that, because that is, as John said, everyone looks at this, and it's so easy to get learningmarkets.com. Just go and check it out. I think it's a great place to get this information. I think there are other places to get it, but not in such a simple form. This is great, John.
Oh, thanks. And if you feel like you need a little bit more of a refresher in how currencies work and how exchange rates work, because it's kind of a brain twister when you first dig into it and you're trying to compare one currency's value relative to another. So we need a little background on just how the currencies work, period. We've got, getting started in the Forex is a great place to start, and we kind of explain it right from scratch. Why are they priced like this? How does it work? What are the ways you can trade it? And it'll give you a little bit of background so you start to understand, okay, so if I'm bearish on the dollar, here's how I would want to trade CDD or EUU or any of those indexes. So if I'm bearish on the dollar, now I know what I want to do. Am I selling calls? Am I selling puts? What am I doing? Let me answer this last question here from Bill. Do I make my trade decisions based on technicals or on some fundamental data also? Yeah, I kind of blend. I mean, I'm kind of overall a little biased. And just as an example for myself, I'm a little bit bearish on the dollar. I don't know how bearish I am, and we're creeping up on some all-time lows on the dollar itself relative to kind of a basket of currencies. But I'm pretty bearish just based on, the U.S. has some pretty extraordinary measures in place to try to loosen up the credit markets, and it increases the super low rates, 0%. All of these things normally are associated with a currency that is losing value. So I kind of have a fundamental bias, a little anti-dollar, or down on the dollar, or bearish on the dollar, I should say. But I use a lot of technicals to try to figure out, all right, well, just like I showed today, I'll use technical analysis to try to determine, well, where do I think the market won't go? Well, I think it won't go beyond support or resistance or whatever it is. So I use a lot of technicals to try to create the specifics of the trade, where fundamentals may be giving me kind of my overall bias. Well, Steve, any other questions?
Michael has a question about margin, but I think the best thing to do is to contact your broker, because as John has mentioned, each broker is going to require different margin. That's not dissimilar if you're trading a Google option or an IBM option. One broker might require more margin than another. So again, that might be broker specific. And Paul has a question about, and I think I answered this last week, Paul. Please call your help desk at E-Trade, because I've heard that they told me that EUU is listed, and I'm actually going out to their help desk in Chicago in 2 weeks to find out what the deal is. But they told me it is offered, and E-Trade has a lot of accounts, so I'm disappointed if EUU is not offered, because a lot of customers are trading that. John, do you mind very quickly going through the COT? Just explain this margin.
I don't mind at all. I don't mind at all. So let me define these. There are three lines on this chart that you're looking at on the dollar yen here. Okay, there's this straight horizontal black line that goes right through the middle. This is kind of the dividing line. Anything above this is kind of is bullish. Anything below this is more or less bearish. This other black line with a little diamond delimiters here is telling me that if it's below that horizontal line, that means that overall institutional traders are net short. So that means overall they're kind of bearish, if you will. However, this red line, what it tracks is how committed are they to that bearish position. So they're bearish, but when it's uptrending, when it's kind of moving up, that means they're becoming a little less bearish, if you will. So they're not short, but that red line there says they're becoming less short. So they're kind of scaling back on those short positions. Whereas, earlier in September, we had both, they were net short and they were really getting more short week after week. So you can kind of see, when the red line is uptrending and the black line is saying that they're short, we're still bearish. We're just being a little bit more conservative about stuff. So that's how I would use that particular report. And which, by the way, if you're interested in kind of an ongoing analysis of the COT report, we do daily videos that are also free. You can just tune in anytime you want on what's going on with the COT report in general. What do we think is going on? Usually we spend a fair amount of time on it, either on Fridays or Mondays, just depending on the week. But you can, if you go to the Forex tab on our site, you can get right there to there's a video that we do every day on what do we think is going on with the currency pairs in general. And it can be kind of helpful to see somebody who's got a little bit more experience in the Forex market look at it every day. So you can kind of follow along with, well, what do they think is going on with the yen? What do they think is going on with the euro? And you get a better feel for it.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. Get trading ideas, exchange rates, webinars, news, and commentary. Visit www.fxoptions.com. ISE FX options can be easily traded through all options-enabled brokerage accounts. These exchange-listed securities are cash-settled in U.S. dollars and have a European-style exercise.